call this meeting of the City Council to order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Carr?
Here.
Councilmember Panduro?
Here.
Councilmember Sandu is absent. Councilmember Tonneson?
Here.
Councilmember Williams?
Here.
Vice Mayor Bertani?
Here.
And Mayor Moy.
I'm here. Our invocation tonight will be presented by Pastor Limnios from Grace Family Church in Suisun City. Welcome, Pastor.
Madam Mayor and City Council, thanks for letting. You'd think I'd know that. Madam Mayor, City Council, thanks for letting me pray for you guys and for our city. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for the city of Fairfield. Lord, I pray for everyone who works here, who lives here, who has anything to do with Fairfield. I think of the council members and their families. Thank you for the time that they take from their families. I pray you bless their families. I pray that for our fire department, our police department, our public works department, and anyone else who works for the city. Lord, when we come to council meetings, there's often different sides of things. People want one way or another. Lord, help us to be cordial, polite, and like you, Jesus, loving and kind. So thank you. Bless our city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. And now, Madam Vice Mayor, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Please stand and join us in saluting our flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Mayor, and we'll start with council reports. Madam Vice Mayor, would you like to go, please?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here this evening and for watching from home. I always say that we have a better meeting when this chamber is filled up because it's your chamber. And we appreciate you coming out and sharing your voice and your concerns with us. I just have a few quick just comments. Number one, I want to extend a big thank you to the Paradise Valley Golf Course and their hospitality in helping us have our first town hall meeting on the Vista Ridge rezone project, where about 300 residents showed up and made their voices known and their concerns were heard and were listening. Paradise Valley really went out of their way to help us facilitate that meeting that grew a lot bigger than any of us had anticipated. So Paradise Valley, thank you. And I wish there was something I could do to thank them because they really did do their very best to accommodate all of us. So thank you. Thank you, residents, for coming out. And just thank you for staying engaged. I want to remind everyone that the first Danco Town Hall meeting on the rezone will be, for the Vista Ridge project, will be on Wednesday, August 27th, 2025, from 5 to 7 p.m. at Willow Hall. And that's a pretty big venue, so I'm hoping that everybody turns out for that meeting as well. We are still wanting to hear from you and appreciate your engagement with this project. And I want to say that I attended the Travis Air Force Base block party on Thursday, August the 7th. This is where the Travis Air Force Base chaplain and the faith community, including our Fairfield Clergy Action Network, come out and just have a block party and just fellowship and share time with each other. I can tell you this, that Travis Air Force Base knows how to throw a block party. It was outstanding, orderly, and the one thing that was new this time was the Travis Air Force Base band. Has anybody in here ever heard the band? It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, they were singing jazz and pop and rock. I mean, couldn't believe it, in full gear, and it was hot out there. Here's what I learned. that like everything else at Travis Air Force Base, there's an orderly process. And the musicians in the band, that is their job. That's their job. They travel the country playing music, and so that is what they're hired to do. They have to audition. These are professional level musicians. They had it going on for real. So, but I didn't know that is their job in the Air Force, music. So I thought that was pretty amazing, and it sounds like it because they did a fantastic job. Quick reminder that there is a listening tour this Saturday in District 6, Saturday, August 23rd, from 10 a.m. to noon. And this is the first time I think we've used this venue, which is the Travis Unified School District Training Education Center at 2775 Durande Drive. So that's for District 6. Our next Clergy Action Network meeting or Fairfield CAN meeting, where we will be, believe it or not, beginning to plan for our Thanksgiving dinner for 2025. So how time flies, but that's on Tuesday, August 26th, starting at 3 p.m. in the Vista Conference Room over at the Civic Center, a couple of doors away from us now. And finally, I want to thank Judge Alicia Jones. She's the presiding judge of the Solano County Superior Court, and Jennifer Mullane, who is the Director of Behavioral Health for Solano County Health and Social Services. We're planning a town hall meeting on the CARE Act courts, which is yet another tool in our tool belt for helping our unhoused population get off the streets and into the services and programming that they need. The meeting is set for December 4th at 5 o'clock right here in these chambers, and I'm going to be meeting with them next week to get the final details on the format and content of that meeting. But I really want to thank Ms. Mullane and Judge Jones for them taking their very precious time to help get the word out about CARE courts. So that is my report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. And Councilwoman Panduro.
Thank you, Mayor. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to highlight a new business that opened recently in District 5. So it's actually a new bakery, and it's called Fluffle Bakery. I hope I'm saying that right. But it's spelled F-L-U-F-F-L. And it's at 1731 North Texas, and they sell, so they have a spot in the mall, but then they just opened up their main store. This will be their main location. They bake everything in-house, and they have baked goods, small food items, cakes, and coffee, and they also do custom cakes and pastry. So if you haven't checked it out, they also do coffee, so it's another new little coffee shop that we can go support, a local place. So check them out if you haven't. Again, that's 1731 North Texas, open Monday through Saturday, 7:30 to 5, and that is where where La Azteca is and Pizza Guy. So in that same little retail area is where they're located. And about a week or so ago, I attended the APAPA. So APAPA stands for Asian Pacific American Public Affairs, and they have a Solano chapter, which I'm a board member of, and they held their 10th anniversary and annual celebration of young leaders. So every summer, they recruit college age and high school students, and they place them in different offices that are with congressional, state, local, federal, and they have them intern during the summer. And so these students get to be exposed to work experience, but then also being in an office, working on a team. And at the end of the summer, we get to celebrate them and get to celebrate their accomplishments as interns in this program. And so I know I attended, and I know the mayor attended as well. And it's always great to see the kids. They've grown so much, and we also recognize some local leaders, and State Senator Christopher Cabaldon was our keynote. So it was a really nice event. And then because we are in the back to school swing of things, there were several resource backpack giveaways that happened last week, 2 weekends ago or so. And I'll just touch on two. So, and just give some numbers, because we are not a city without the community that supports the community that lives here, right? And so we have amazing community partners. We have an amazing school districts, I should say. And so The first one is always the biggest one, which is the one that's held over at St. Mark's. It's hosted by FSU, the Fairfield Suisun Unified School District, and they gave away 1,900 backpacks, 60 haircuts, and 80 eye exams. So it was an amazing day full of family and kids getting ready for school. The fun part this year that they had was a bubble machine. So you walked up and saw all these kids just running through like these mass bubble. It was wonderful to see them so happy. So it was a great day for everyone. It was great to see. I know Ms. Anna Patero was there, as per usual, picking up litter, doing her duties. So thank you, Anna, for always being present. And then Mount Calvary also had one of the giveaways. And so I'll give you some numbers. I asked specifically because I want you to for the community to see what our local partners do. So Mount Calvary to Sheldon School gave 350 backpacks. At Mount Calvary themselves on that Saturday, they gave 550 backpacks. At Crystal Middle, they gave 350 backpacks. Council of the Blind, they gave 50. And then to 2 other churches, they gave it 100. So they gave out a total of 1,400 backpacks as a church themselves. So these are the people that we get to work with, and we are so proud and honored to have in our community. And then lastly, myself and Councilmember Doug Carr sit on the JPA Cap Solano. So it's a regional homeless committee that meets once a month. It's open to the public. Everyone is invited to come. I see some familiar faces here that do attend already. But it's a great space to come and learn about what we are doing as a region around homelessness. And so the next meeting is being held next Thursday, the 28th at 6:30 p.m. in the county building downtown. And that's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Doug?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Well, she stole all my stuff, but that's okay. We do attend a lot of the same things and go to a lot of the same ribbon cuttings and those kind of things. However, on the 9th, I did make it also to the St. Mark's as usual. It was a huge turnout, and the bubble machine was cool. There was people doing the big Santa Claus beards, and they were all in it. It was really neat. But I do have some other announcements as well. I did meet up with Councilwoman Pandura and Councilman Tonneson, and we made it to also Logic. We went there and saw their giveaway. It was just really great to see that kind of stuff. Also, with some other announcements, the Community Health and Wellness is Saturday, August 30th, 10 to 1. They'll have the mobile showers, free haircuts, hot lunch, free clothes and shoes and stuff for those in need. A lot of times it's really good. If you go over there, get hosed off, it's a really good thing. You can pass that around. There's some flyers on the back as well. We also have the city's Fairfield's Homeless Roundtable. It was just last Wednesday. It was a really good turnout. We had 81 providers with 44 agencies attending. We focused on the intersections between intimate partner violence and homelessness, with presentations from Solano Family Justice Center, Safe Quest, Solano Advocates for Victims of Violence, and the next roundtable is scheduled for November 12th. Reach out to the Homeless Services Division to be placed on the list and receive an invitation for future roundtables. And they do have my favorite sandwiches too there, so there is a lunch provided. There's also going to be another event, the next Homeless Outreach Partnership event we call HOPE, will be on October 8th at Willow Hall Community Center, located right over here. Any interested service partners or vendors can reach out to the Homeless Services Division for the application to register for a table at that event. Liberty Church is hosting a community health and wellness event on Saturday, August 30th, like I said earlier. Housing First, Solano Continuum of Care is accepting board applicants for open seats. More information at their website, www.housingfirstsolano.org. Housing First Solano Continuum of Care's next board meeting is tomorrow via Zoom from 10 to 12, and you can get that information on that website, or you can check on the city as well. And like Doris said, we do sit on the JAP and the advisory board, and real quick, again, just to further on that, is what that meeting does is we get together. There's 2 representatives from each town in Solano County, plus 2 supervisors all attend that meeting, and we kind of try to figure out some of the problems with our homeless, and moreover, solutions to that, and the funding, and how we can get get help to our homeless population. And that's every month, and I can't implore you more, if you're interested in these issues in our town, that you can come to these homeless meetings. It is a big problem in Fairfield, and we need to solve it. I don't like seeing tents and people sleeping in places I used to play as a kid, and I don't want Fairfield becoming a place where we have a lot of homeless, so I do whatever I can to help. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Tonneson, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, we all went to the backpack giveaways. The foam was watermelon. It actually, I didn't taste it, but it smelled pretty good. And thank you, Fire at St. Mark's, for the hot dogs, for cooking the hot dogs. That was fantastic. I don't know how many you served, but I'm sure it was a high number. Tomato Fest was this weekend, last weekend. Good turnout. Sunday was really crowded. And they had the tomato eating contest, which is, if you have a chance to do that, pass. But since I was talking about it, I thought maybe the cops and fire could have a little contest next year. Just throwing it out there, Mayor.
I like it. It shall be written, it shall be done.
And then our pickleball tournament, we are over the top excited. I know George Kennedy's here tonight. He's going to speak a little bit more about it, but it's a professional tournament, and we ended up getting almost 500 entries. So it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a good problem to have. We're trying to establish a pickleball hub down here in Fairfield, and we're well on our way to that. We have 16 courts. Again, George will go into it a little more, but we're the second largest, I believe, in Northern California. But so if you want to come out, Camus is the main sponsor, and they're going to be doing a little event. I think it's $10 or $15 at Camus from 5:30 to 7:30 on Thursday. Tournament's going to run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so feel free to come out. It'll be going all day. And we have a lot of the top-ranked pros there, too. So, that's something that we're really excited about. I know we had a vision of this pickleball. When we put in the pickleball courts, it was like buying Bitcoin at the right time. It was just, the sport just exploded. It was exploding, and then it exploded, and we got our courts in, so we were very fortunate there and had a lot of support from the council and staff to get those courts done. So we're really looking forward to a great event, and more to come on that. That's all for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Williams, please.
Thank you. So I have a few updates. The North Cordelia LLMD met North Cordelia, and we're also doing a hyphen Green Valley. There's a task force that meets to talk about this LLMD, and was very excited that we took a tour of landscaping all throughout Green Valley, North Cordelia. What I was most proud about is I did this tour myself, just as a councilwoman, and to be able to, have members of the community take this tour along with me. I guess I know nothing about trees and things. They were pointing out things that were half dead. I was like, is it really, or is it just a little brown? But they're just so, this task force, they're really compassionate and care, and it goes on. So if you miss that tour, don't worry, you can still join the task force. You just missed the tour. And there's some of you that did send me an email the week before, and I just didn't get you on the list. So, but that's okay. I'm going to send you the link to see what's involved in that LLMD. And then we're having a follow-up task meeting okay, I can't understand my handwriting. Is it Monday? Okay, I'll look. You're like, I don't know your calendar. I'll look. I think it's this Monday. We have another, yeah, it is. It's the 25th, Monday. We're going to have another North Cordelia LMDB LLMD meeting. It's going to be from 5 to 7 at Solano EDC. That is above the Cordelia Library, 5050 Business Center conference, in the conference room. Also, we had our Lopes Road update webinar. This is the road that collapsed a few years ago, and I get so many messages and I see so many comments asking, why can't you just patch it up and it'll be fine and we can use this road? And there's just so much to it, and we had such a great webinar. Don't feel bad if you missed it. You can find it online. So it's the City of Fairfield website. If you do a search for Lopes, it will come up. You will see the webinar. And, my district is so engaged. I think there were 30-plus questions, and all of those were answered. And some really great ideas and thought about, and also some solution-based conversation. It was just powerful. It was 60 minutes. And so please, if you have any questions about Lopes Road, what is the delay, you'll be able to get all your answers there. But the short answer is, it's not going to be ready until next year. So I just don't want you all thinking that it's any time now. It's not. We have a ways. We're trying to touch funds and allocate funds, and I also want to just say thank you to the staff. Public Works, I see you back there, Michael. The fact that you all are able to explain very complicated things in such a way that the rest of us can understand, I just really appreciate it. So finally, I wanted to shout out two businesses. Councilwoman Pandora, I already sent you a message. I went to Jarritos on North Texas, and I had the best quesadilla I've ever had in my life. I literally ate it all, had a little anchor left, took a picture of it, and sent it to her. And I was like, what in the world? So And next door to it, 2 doors down, is Fresh Laundries. And I just had a stack of comforters that I needed laundered. I didn't feel like doing it myself. I dropped it off there. The next day, they sent me a text and said it was ready. I don't know. I just want to keep highlighting small businesses. I want us to all go to these small businesses, support them. They hire local people, like just to be able to support, eat great food, get your food laundered, and then meet all these employees. And they're able to be employed because we support these businesses. So anyway, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. So I am going to just report on two things. The first is that the toll lanes that right now are not active between Fairfield and Vacaville going, I guess that's east, isn't it? I'm so bad about directions. But in December, those are going to go live. And how people will use them is with the transponders, the same ones that you use crossing the bridge. So if there's traffic and you want to get around it, you can move into that lane and pay a toll to go through there. I actually voted no on this. I'm a director on the Solano Transportation Authority. And the reason why is because we're guinea pigs here for the next 3 or 4 years. The state is taking tolls from us on the weekends. So that's going to be the part where we're guinea pigs. But they wouldn't promise me that the money will go back into our roads here. In other words, they're going to take the money and spend it wherever they want to, but it doesn't necessarily going to be here. And so that was the thing that broke me, so I voted no on that. Also, taxpayers already paid for the road. So I don't see a reason to have people, especially Solano County, of all the 9 Bay Area counties, we're the poorest. Not to say that everybody's poor here, but we have a lot of working people who commute, and we have to pay extra for the bridges, the toll. I mean, it's crazy. And yet, down there in Marin County, unless they're going across the Golden Gate, they aren't hit like we are. And they are more wealthy county. So I told them they like to use the word equity. I thought it was very unequitable for them to do this into a county that has the most working poor that have to go all over the place and maybe have 2 or 3 jobs. So anyway, but that's going to happen in December. And then the other thing is, and this has been ongoing, I know we've spoken to you a couple of times about the state water agency wanting to take a lot of the water from Lake Berryessa. Staff from the Solano County Water Agency and also some of us electeds have been working really hard to try to get them to understand that Lake Berryessa is very different than other reservoirs who get their water from the snowpack. We get ours from rainfall, right? And it's very different, and also we've done a lot of things to protect and actually build habitat for salmon that never ever existed historically. So I'm bringing this up that we're making some headway. And so that's good news. We're not all the way there. And I will be going to testify up at the state. So I'll keep you apprised of all that. That's all I'm going to bore you with, but there you go. Mr. City Manager.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Well, anybody know what we're celebrating today? The 50th anniversary of FAST. Today, yeah. So starting in 1975 with the dial-a-ride service called DART, the city of Fairfield ventured into providing transit.
Yes.
No, it was DART.
No, but we had the other one.
The other one for temporarily, yes.
Started with the F.
So it expanded in 1980 with the first fixed routes and has only grown since then, serving over 1 million riders annually at its peak. So since 1998, we've also been partnered with MV Transportation that provides that service. So shout out to MV Transportation that does an excellent job. They also just happen to be celebrating their 50th anniversary as a company this year. They, like I said, they've served us since 1998. We have added as you all know, here in the recent past, we've added microtransit, which is a very convenient way to get around on the smaller buses. We launched the first battery, all battery electric buses here. I believe that was last year to move towards zero emissions. So thank you to everyone from city staff to MV Transportation that ensures that FAST is there and available for our residents to get around. And that's my report, Madam Mayor.
All right, you just weren't around in the good old days. That's why you don't remember. But anyway, thank you for that. Madam Attorney.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you very much. And Madam Clerk.
Just wanted to thank Deputy City Clerk Esther Beavers for filling in for me the first week of August.
Aw.
She did a great job.
All right. So we will turn to presentations now.
Presentation I-1, Sister City Exchange Program presentation by Liz Aptekar, the Assistant to the City Manager.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, and community members. Since 1971, the city of Fairfield has had a strong relationship with our sister city, Nagasaki, Japan. The sister city concept was designed by President Eisenhower after World War II to improve relations between America and Japan, to ensure conflict to that level never happens again. Today, the American-Japanese Sister City Connection is one of the most successful sister city programs worldwide, changing lives and cultivating global citizens. We have sent and hosted exchange students since 1989, except during the COVID pandemic. Tonight, we are joined by local students who traveled to Narasaki this summer. Although unable to join us this evening, we'd be remiss if we didn't send appreciation to our adult chaperone this summer, Jennifer Duremdes, a health assistant and paraeducator at the Solano County Office of Education, who accompanied our student ambassadors. Now, Ambassador Charlotte Bartu will take a few minutes to share experiences on behalf of the delegation. Please enjoy the slideshow that will be playing in the background as well. Come on up. All right, let me start it over here. Okay, thanks, Charlotte.
こんばんは。バンデン高校から来ましたシャーロット・バーツーです。Good evening, my name is Charlotte Bartu from Vanden High School. Before our trip, each of us learned how to introduce ourselves in Japanese. It might seem small, but it was our very first step in showing respect for the culture and community we were about to enter. Before I begin, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who made this exchange visit possible. The individual and business donors whose generosity helped us with this opportunity, Mayor Moy and the city staff for supporting the program, Liz who put together all the pieces to make this happen, and Miss Jennifer, our chaperone. This exchange program is very special and a unique part of the city of Fairfield, and I'm honored to be an ambassador of the city. I was so grateful that I experienced a wonderful moment with my 5 new best friends, Tila, Luca, Alan, Victor, and Danny. Going to different high schools or in different grades, we probably never would have become friends without this program. While we were in Narasaki, we had the chance to visit many wonderful places, each with its own unique experiences. Out of all of them, some of my favorites were the times we spent at the schools, especially our visit to the Narasaki Technical High School. We were welcomed with bright smiles and warm energy from the student council, instantly making us feel at home. They introduced us to so many exciting activities, playing the taiko drums, trying out Japanese archery, learning fencing, and joining in on other extracurriculars that gave us a glimpse of their school life. Each activity was fun, but what stood out the most for me wasn't the games or traditions, it was the kindness of the students. They treated us with such genuine care and friendship that the moment I stepped into the van to leave, I already found myself missing the school, the laughter, and people that made it feel so special. The feeling of connection and warmth carried me as we continued our journey, especially to our excursion to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum. Walking through the exhibits, I was moved by the stories, images, artifacts that showed the devastating impact of the atomic bomb. It was heartbreaking to see the personal belongings left behind and imagine the lives that were lost or forever changed. And it brought me to tears. But in that sorrow, I realized how important it is for us to build connections, even small ones, because they are what bring healing and hope to the future. Visiting Hiroshima reminded me that every act of kindness, every friendship formed, and every bond between cultures, like the ones I experienced in Narasaki, are what help us move forward together. Some of my favorite memories weren't just from the places we visited, but the time we spent in between on the long train rides and van rides with the 5 other exchange students. At first, we were all strangers, trying to awkwardly figure each other out, but soon those rides turned into moments filled with laughter, games of Uno, and late conversations where we really got to know one another. Within just 2 days, we had gone from being acquaintances to becoming best friends. Bonded by the shared experiences and the adventure of discovering Japan together, those simple moments on the road became some of the most meaningful, reminding me how quickly connections can grow when you're open to them. Being an exchange student in Narasaki for 3 weeks wasn't about being a tourist. It was about being a part of a community. I will always remember the kindness of my host family who welcomed me like their own, Japanese classmates who included me, and neighbors who made me feel like at home. I realized that even across oceans and languages, we can find common ground in kindness, curiosity, and respect. And now, I look forward to Fairfield welcoming students from Narasaki this winter. Just as they welcome me, I can't wait to show them the same warmth, hospitality, and friendship that they gave us. This program is a bridge between 2 communities that has been built over 35 years. I hope this exchange program lasts for many years to come because I know firsthand the impact that it can have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for presenting on behalf of the delegation, Charlotte. Right. Now we're going to go. Let's do this. Okay. So, As Charlotte said, this winter, Fairfield will reciprocate our sister city hospitality and host student ambassadors from Nirasaki, Japan. The Winter Exchange is a unique opportunity for our community to embrace international friendship and help facilitate a memorable cultural exchange. The success and continuation of this tradition truly takes our entire community. Together, by supporting these types of experiences, we help cultivate our future leaders. At this time, we have 3 of 8 host families committed. The exchange dates are from November 29 through December 16. Please contact us or visit the Fairfield City website for more information. Ultimately, these exchanges are student-funded and would not be possible without community generosity and support. We appreciate our council members, city staff, volunteers, as well as our new partners with the Police Activities League, who are dedicated to helping our community teens grow and learn. Now, if our student ambassadors can line up in front, as your names are called, we will present certificates for your excellent ambassadorship and wrap up with a group photo with the council. All right, Ambassador Charlotte Bartu. Ambassador Daniel Gonzalez. Ambassador Gianluca Mendoza Fabiani. And Alan Ramirez Vega. There's a few who could not join us in person this evening. We celebrate you too. Victor Diaz Murgia, Talia Sweeting, and Jennifer Duremdes. Thank you. Okay, good job. Thank you.
Hey, Liz, you're doing both presentations tonight.
And our next presentation, L2, or I2, sorry, legislative update, again presented by Liz Aptekar.
And all right. And good evening once again, everyone. Yes. That's not what it looks like here. I'm not sure why it looks different here versus there. F5? Oh, now it's showing differently on mine. That's all right, as long as it's more important over there. Okay, and good evening again, everyone. We've had a highly productive legislative period since adopting the city's legislative platform in March. Our legislative platform helps us use our resources strategically, supporting policies and funding initiatives that benefit our residents, while opposing measures that could threaten our fiscal strength or service delivery. All right. This slide highlights key dates for the 2025 legislative cycle. Lawmakers have until August 29 to advance their bills through appropriations committees. After that, they have until September 12th to pass their bills and send them to the governor's desk for signature. Governor Newsom will then have until October 12th to take action on any bills. At the state level, during the Cal Cities Leaders Summit in April, our city manager testified at the Capitol, and both council and staff advocated local needs with state representatives. One specific focus of our advocacy work, as mentioned by the mayor, is advancing healthy rivers and landscapes as the preferred alternative to the Bay Delta plan. We also engage with the governor's staff regarding Fairfield's inclusion in the shipbuilding and maritime prosperity zone. So far this year, we have submitted 20 letters regarding positions, funding, and support, and continue to work proactively with Senator Cabaldon and Assembly Member Wilson's offices. Regarding federal efforts, we submitted priority project funding requests to Congressman Garamendi as well. We will continue to remain actively engaged with local, state, and federal representatives and their teams. Additionally, the city has also supported and advocated for California's significant 2025 legislative policies that provide financial relief to veterans and military retirees. A major development is the passage of Senate Bill 1 and Assembly Bill 53, granting up to $20,000 in state income tax relief for military retirees and survivor benefit recipients. This is a significant policy change, making California more veteran-friendly and helping address cost of living challenges for many families in our community. At this time, I'd like to introduce our legislative lobbyist, Jason Gonzalez, who will provide more insight into the 2025 session and answer any questions.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. I'm not sure I can add too much insight to that. I'd like to compliment, obviously, the mayor, the council, your leadership, and your management team. It's a privilege and honor to work with your city. I'll start with, I guess, the good news. The legislature has returned from summer recess. They returned yesterday on the 18th. They have until September 12th to pass about 1,000 plus or minus bills that will be vetted in the next 3 weeks. Overarching and kind of the dark cloud, if you will, all of the legislative activity is the newfound, I will call it, tug-of-war between the federal government and the state of California and other states pertaining to reapportionment. The legislature, as I mentioned, they returned yesterday. They have until the 22nd to take action on 3 bills to establish a November this year special election on proposed mid-cycle reapportionment redistricting congressional maps. There's been plenty of discussion around the issue. It's if Texas goes, we will go. And there's, again, 3 proposals, a constitutional amendment and 2 statutory proposals, and a lot of jockeying that's already taking place. It's a very partisan issue, and the state Senate went well in past 9 p.m. last night on the issue, which means they won't be able to take final action until after 9 p.m. on Thursday. Not to be just the Senate floor, the Senate Republican caucus, several of their members filed a lawsuit with the state Supreme Court saying that these 3 bills violate the constitutional 30 days in print. So there'll be no shortage of lawsuits and jockeying, I guess, if you will, as it pertains to what I'm calling the coloring contest in Sacramento red and blue for congressional seats. All of that said, again, the legislative session started with 2,800 bills. There's about 1,000 left remaining, plus or minus, and the appropriations committees this week will hear 700 plus or minus bills between the 2 houses, and as Liz mentioned, they'll have until August 29th to take that action, or to move those bills to the floor. Appropriations will hold approximately 30% of those bills, just given the state fiscal challenges and potential cost to the state. Again, I would like to thank you for, I'll stop there and be happy to answer any questions. Really, the reapportionment is driving the final weeks of session, but I'd like to thank you for the opportunity. I would note that, as Liz mentioned, your relationship with your legislators, they're very well positioned. Assemblymember Wilson is chair of Transportation Committee, as you know. Senator Cabalden is chair of Sub 4, the budget subcommittee that handles all local government finance. Little more nuanced as far as the process, but very well positioned. And then I would say that those 2 legislators are uniquely positioned because they both serve in the housing and local government committees in the Assembly and the Senate. Pretty unique for a local agency to be represented by legislators that will see most, if not all, bills that affect this city and their district. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Questions? Yeah,
It's more of a
Councilman.
comment. Just thank you again. You've been with us for a year or 2 now, right? or
Almost
30.
pre-gray hair.
Yeah, but we really appreciate you're easy to get a hold of. You explain things really well. When we go to Sacramento, it's nice to meet up with you, and just thank you. You do a great job.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Madam Mayor, I should have noted, we only have, once we're done with reapportionment, we're only up to 15 gubernatorial candidates for
that it?
2026.
I
So,
was going to throw my hat in there.
well, the former vice president, as you all know, she neglected or announced she is not going to run for
Right.
governor, but I think the rest of California may be running, so, well, please do.
Join the crowd, why not? Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Is that it?
That is it, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, now we're going to move on to the public comments.
Persons wishing to address the city council on subjects not on the agenda, but within the jurisdiction of the council may do so at this time. The council cannot discuss or take action on matters not on the agenda for this meeting, but council members may briefly respond to statements made or questions raised by the public, ask for clarification from staff, refer the matter to staff, request staff to report back to the council at a subsequent meeting, or place the matter on a future agenda. If you're online to speak on an agenda item, please use the raise your hand feature or press *9 on your phone. And speakers are limited to how many?
It'll be 2 minutes tonight.
Okay, as determined by the mayor. And our first speaker is Chris Garcia, to be followed by Matt Bideau.
My name is Chris Garcia, and I'm the grandmother of Matt Garcia. I'm 90, and it's been a blessing for me. I'm here because Matthew was always interested in the youth having good education, and, that was his thing, to make this a better city. And my concern is I have several children attending Bendon, and I used to take them to school and pick them up and everything. And it's been kind of, there's only one way in and one way out, and the traffic's terrible. And I'd like to know if it would be possible if there was a supporting of, to support the Markley Lane will be open, because, kids do have accidents, and it would be nice if it would be better for ambulance or any kind of accident that happens to get there and come out. And I'd really appreciate if they would take care of this opening of the Markley Lane. And that's my concern.
Thank you for coming. It's good to see you, and I don't believe you're 90 anything, first of all. Yeah, and I appreciate you especially because of all of your grandchildren, but especially Matt.
Yes.
Who's a friend to all of us.
Yeah.
Mr. City Manager, could you just quickly, could you give her an update on what's going on with Markley Lane?
So we're in the design phase right now. So our Public Works engineering team, and working with a design engineering firm, is doing all of the plan work for Markley Lane.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then for anyone else in the audience, I know Councilmember Williams talked about a webinar that we hosted last week on Lopes Road. The week before that, we had one, or maybe I'm getting them backwards, but there was, we had one on Markley Lane as well. So on the city's website is that webinar recording, so anybody can go and get the much more detailed update from our engineering staff.
Well, I thank you very much for supporting that, and I thank everybody here for supporting me. And
Good to see you again.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Garcia.
And Grandma Chris, happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's her birthday tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, okay. Scared me.
Our next speaker is Matt Badou.
So I only have 2 minutes, Mayor, and for holy moly, let's advertise it as two minutes, because week after week you change it and people prepare for 3. Okay, so if you're going to do 2 every week, please let us know. Couple things, Mark Lee Lane webinar, city manager. So that was kind of a waste of time, and I don't mean to be negative, but your public work directors read the questions and then spoke them the way that they wanted to speak them. They didn't read them word for word. We went back in time, David. Remember when we started this journey years ago and we had all the pictures and the sidewalks and the green trees and everything? We know how much we want this, and you were in agreement. We just need a good road with a sidewalk and save millions of dollars. Your people put up there on the webinar all the pictures, and we're doing all of this again. Nobody on that webinar had any history. One question I asked, I said, hey, what's the traffic evaluation of that area? They had no idea. 24 months ago, council, was the worst rating you could get, and there's nothing been done to help it out except more homes, more businesses, so it's got to be worse. So let me take another aspect here for you so I don't keep saying the same thing. This is the area right here off Dobie. You see all these residential houses? The city of Fairfield said we can put these in years ago with no Mark Lee Lane. The impact even higher. You go right down the road, and I get it, I'm all for jobs. So the city is still letting the industrial park grow. Right there on Adobe, right where all our problems are. Now I got to talk fast, so we keep saying, and the mayor says it a lot, I agree with most of what hashtag Travis Air Force Base, hashtag Travis Air Force Base. I'm a hardcore supporter, I'm an Army veteran, and I'll do everything I can for Travis, but where do you think the Travis kids go 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade? They go to Travis Unified School District in the most dangerous area within your city if something happens. So something's got to give. You know, David, they were talking another 4 years. Crying out loud, give me some hammers and nails, I can build you a 5-plex by hand myself, and the time it's taken to do this road. We're starving, we're hurting bad there. If something happens, just like the grand jury, civil grand jury report said, there's no way for those kids to get out. And like our vice mayor said about a year ago, we know. What are we doing? What are we doing, city council? Because if you take the time, this is the most unsafe area for our youth in the city of Fairfield. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Next is Phil Bailey, to be followed by Courtney Tyndall.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council, City staff. My name is Phil Bailey. I'm the Vice President of Firefighters Local 1186 and the President of the Fairfield Professional Firefighters Association. I want to take a moment to voice a growing concern shared by many employees across the organization. Ongoing efforts to reduce employee compensation combined with what feels like a one-sided focus on cost cutting are having a serious impact on morale. While we all understand the need for financial sustainability, the approach being taken risks undermining the very foundation of the organization, the people. I've worked for the city since 2001, and right now employee satisfaction and morale is either at an all-time low or near an all-time low. There's a widespread sense that our work Commitment and well-being are being overlooked in the pursuit of short-term savings. The environment does not build loyalty or performance. It leads to disengagement, turnover, and ultimately deeper organizational costs. In addition to proposed compensation cuts, recent decisions within the fire department, such as hiring external command staff and other questionable hiring practices, have further contributed to declining morale. These choices have left many long-serving members feeling overlooked, undervalued, and disconnected from leadership. When experienced personnel are passed over for advancement in favor of outside hires, it sends a message that loyalty and internal growth are no longer priorities. These actions, combined with the broader cost-cutting measures, are deepening frustration and eroding trust among the ranks. We strongly urge leadership to consider a more balanced strategy, one that values both financial prudence and the long-term health of our workforce. Investing in people is not a cost, it's a critical asset to protect. Without the loyalty and dedication of your employees, there is no savings that will be able to fix what's lost. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Courtney Tyndall, to be followed by Leslie Silver.
Good evening. I was at the meeting 2 weeks ago at Paradise Valley, and I just want the council to know I was terrified in that room and in that setting. It was very hostile. I wasn't able to get up and say anything or raise my hand due to the woman in front of me and the woman 2 seats to my left. I've lived in this county for 40 years, and I live in the district where this motel is at. And I am all for this motel. This motel already houses people who are on drugs, people who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What I can tell you is that we need the space. We need to do something about our homeless. We can't just keep pushing it off to the side. I think that we really need to look at this. I appreciate you guys having this here where I feel like I'm safe to talk. There have been many people that have gone through that hotel that have actually reunified with their children here in this county. So I know the ins and outs very well of what goes on over there. Everybody has criminal folks within their city, everybody. So while they're there at one location, why don't we just try? Why don't we just try to do something? I thank you for your time, and I hope you consider pushing that through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Leslie Silver, to be followed by George Kennedy.
It's cold in that corner. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and members of the community. My name's Leslie Silver, and I serve as the new Community Engagement Manager for Archway Recovery Services, headquartered here in Fairfield. At Archway, we provide comprehensive substance use disorder treatment in our region with programs based right here in downtown Fairfield. Our mission is simple but urgent: to help individuals and families break the cycle of addiction, heal from trauma, and rebuild their lives. Thanks to your support, we're one step closer to continuing our mission in a new, updated space. I'm pleased to share that our plans for a new treatment facility have been submitted to the building department for final review, and we're currently awaiting a permit approval so we can begin construction. In Fairfield, Archway already operates a licensed residential treatment facility, an outpatient center, and several sober living homes. Together, these programs form a full continuum of care for detox and inpatient treatment to outpatient services and transitional housing, all designed to support long-term recovery. Our team includes licensed clinicians, certified and registered counselors, and case managers. We use evidence-based practices rooted in behavioral health and neuroscience because we understand that recovery is about more than just stopping substance use. It's about restoring health, dignity, and connection to the community. Every year, hundreds of Fairfield residents walk through our doors. Many are in crisis, experiencing homelessness, unemployment, or involvement with the justice system. Archway often becomes the place where people begin to reconnect with their families, return to work, and rejoin the fabric of our community. We work closely with local partners like North Bay, Kaiser, and Sutter to make sure that people who need help don't fall through the cracks. We're proud to be part of Fairfield's network of care, and we know that addiction and homelessness are community challenges that require community solutions. Archway
Time is up.
committed. Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that it's moving forward.
George Kennedy, to be followed by Shannon Lovelace White.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. You know me. So this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Fairfield Suisun Valley Open, sponsored by Camus Suisun, in conjunction with the Professional Pickleball Association Challenger Series. Right now, we have the largest of the 20-plus Challenger Series in the country. We've got over 475 people registered, and it's bringing, the goal was, to put Fairfield on the map. With pickleball, we're using all 16 courts, plus 7 others, so we're going to be using 23 courts, which still might not be enough, but we'll be going from 8 o'clock in the morning till probably 9 o'clock at night to get all these players through. The pros, we're going to have over 100 pros taking part in gender doubles, singles, and mixed doubles, so that'll be going all weekend as well. We will have food trucks out there, coffee trucks for everybody to have some fun, enjoy, and Thursday night is the kickoff at Camus Suisun Winery. It is $10 for music, fun, and games, and prizes that Camus Suisun is doing for us. So I'd love to see everybody out there, and let's promote America's favorite wine region, the Suisun Valley, right here.
Don't you know it?
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks. Look forward to seeing you this weekend.
All right.
Next is Shannon Lovelace White, to be followed by Michael Mosaros.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. My name is Shannon Lovelace White, and I represent an organization that is based in Napa County. It's called Molly's Angels. We've been serving older adults in Napa and the Up Valley region for 26 years now. As of last year, we started serving Solano County older adults. We are funded by the Napa Solano Area Agency on Aging. The services we provide here in Solano County are for really social connection program. It's a friendly calling program, but it really serves as a means of connecting with socially isolated older adults. We have been working in close concert with first responders in communities like Rio Vista, Vacaville, Benicia, hopefully your fire and police here this evening, to distribute some easy paperwork they can share with individuals when they are actually going into the home. What we're finding is older adults don't realize the robust suite of services that are available to them at no cost. And if we can connect them with a service that's applicable to them in that moment, they're more likely to utilize the other services and require less emergent care down the road. So I do hope, thank you, that we can I can connect with your police and fire if they're interested in doing this. I will leave materials about our friendly calling program. We are talking to both participants and people who want to volunteer. It's 30 minutes once a week, and you can make a big impact on somebody who doesn't have a lot of other social connections in their life. And we know it definitely impacts their overall health outcomes. So thank you for turning on the mic.
Thank you.
I will, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Mizaros, to be followed by Karen Nemsick.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here representing the Downtown Theater, just stopping by to let you know what's been going on and what's coming up. Missouri Street Theater recently closed their 4-week run of Shrek to incredible audiences, super fun show. Everybody had a great time. Excuse me. This past Saturday, Rosalind Pugh had her tribute to the Women of Soul, with tributing to Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston, Roberta Flack, and we had a nearly sold-out house for that show, and everybody had a great time. Coming up on September 5th, we have Natalie Amaya, who's an incredible singer, bringing her tribute to Linda Ronstadt to the theater. And one thing we're incredibly excited to host is a couple months ago, Missouri Street Theater was contacted by Concord Theatricals, which is a rights company for musicals. And Missouri Street Theater was presented with the opportunity to put on one of the first regional premieres of Six for Teens, the teen edition of Six the Musical. And so that is coming up in 2 weeks, the weekend of August 29th, 30th, and 31st. And we're going to have 6 of our young local artists singing their faces off in front of a live band, including somebody from the Band of the Golden West. We have one of the bass players in that band. So it's sure to be a fun show, and we're very excited to have that around. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Karen Nemsick, to be followed by Jeff Traeger.
Good evening. My name is Karen Nemsick. I'm the Director of Community Partnerships at United Way Bay Area. In Solano County, United Way Bay Area has been partnering with Supervisor Cassandra James on housing convenings this year. Last April, we discussed solutions to homelessness in Vallejo, and just a few weeks ago in July, we had a convening around funding affordable housing and bringing resources to Solano for affordable housing. Tonight, however, I'm here to make some comments about HomeKey. So HomeKey, you all know, a California state program designed to rapidly expand housing for individuals experiencing or at risk of homelessness. The program aims primarily to address homelessness for individuals and families at risk, individuals with mental and physical health challenges, and seniors. I think it's important to also remind us that HomeKey includes supportive services for all residents, so those can be things like coaching, finances, and employment help. Really quickly, so you understand who's moving into HomeKey, people have to really want to go and get off the streets and get into housing. So they go through the coordinated entry system. They go through a system of documenting and identification papers with the system. They have to complete a lease, which is very similar to the lease I have with my landlord, that says I can do some things and I can't do other things. And if they break that lease, they'll be evicted. So people are in this housing to survive. They're in this housing to succeed. They're not there to cause trouble. I know that I have only a couple seconds. Sex offenders are very frightening to people, and that's legitimate. But sex offenders have to follow the same rules in a HomeKey as they do moving into any neighborhood. There is no waiver on HomeKey for a sex offender. So if they're not in your neighborhood, they're probably not going to be at a HomeKey nearby either. So United Way is very much in favor of HomeKey programs. They have evidence-based successes, and we're looking forward to continuing to support affordable housing in Solano.
Next is Jeff Traeger, to be followed by Gordon Hamlin.
Hello, everybody. Wow, Mike Mazzaro, one of the best sound men in Solano County. Really wonderful guy. Jesus, he took my my thunder. Anyway, so I'll let you know what's happening. Last Friday, we had at Wood Creek Park probably the biggest crowd we've ever had at any of our summer music series. We must have had about more than 400 people. We had a band called Top Shelf, and it was remarkable. It was just absolutely great.
People loved it.
Yeah. Anyway, and it was great. It was just great seeing Matt Garcia's grandmother. I remember at Matt's service that I was able to bring Carlos Reyes and Holly Stell to perform, and afterwards they went over and gave her a private, and the mother, Teresa, a private ceremony, and they played for. It was wonderful. It's great to see her. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next is Gordon Hamlin, to be followed by Reggie Saronin.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor.
Is the mic on?
It's green.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
As recent as this afternoon, I called Republic Services, and what they told me was that there is no plan to accommodate people that were lost services. We're not going to get any refunds. They're not doing it. I asked if I deduct 2 weeks of services off my next bill, what happens? And I was told that I would get a late fee. If I don't pay the late fee and pay up to 2 weeks that I didn't pay, then I could be taken to court, and they will come and take my trash cans and cancel my services altogether. So what I'd like to ask, before I have to go to the trouble of taking it to small claims court, where does the city, how is it proceeded on trying to get something? It's not the money. 2 weeks of garbage service is like getting a quarter-pounder meal at McDonald's. It's the principle. If you pay for something and don't get the service, why are you paying for it? It's the principle. So if you could update us.
Sure.
The other thing I'd like to talk about real quick is this whole thing with that motel in Devco or whatever. I speak to people every week that still don't know what's going on up there. So the information's not getting out well enough. The meeting up at the country club, yeah, there was a lot of hot people up there. Not hot because of the program, hot because of the process. Because people were advised. Because at the last council meeting, 4 people voted to proceed with this that didn't need to do that then. What the 4 of you did is you stole my voice. You stole the voice of 20, 30, 40,000 other citizens in this town where we didn't know what's going on.
Gordon, your time is up.
I'm sorry?
Your time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, could you give him a quick update on Republic and what's going on?
So, City Attorney and I have met with Republic and begun what I would call negotiations at the direction from City Council, and I'll let City Attorney keep me out of hot water here. So we've had some back and forth with Republic. We anticipate getting some response back from them by the end of this month. So we're in that process of yeah. Okay, yeah.
And I don't think we're interested in getting an extra free dump coupon. Okay, that doesn't help most of us. So just take off 2 weeks worth of service. That's what it's about. And again, it's the principle.
Yeah, understood. A couple weeks ago, City Council gave City Attorney and I very clear direction on what they wanted, and we're in the process of pursuing that.
And through the council, through the mayor, sir, as the council knows, settlement discussions usually are confidential, just to encourage both sides to negotiate openly and freely. So we're not going to be, broadcasting to anybody what's happening other than my bosses over here, the 7 city council members. So you're not going to hear anything about it, but that's on purpose.
Right. Just let the people know that you're doing something, that it isn't dead. That's all we care about.
Absolutely. The City Council was very clear about what we wanted, and that included that, okay? And they're working on it. Thank you.
Next is Kelsey Morgado, to be followed by Laura Kelly.
Reggie?
You're right, Reggie Saronin. Sorry about that.
Madam Mayor and Vice Mayor, council members, thank you for allowing me to be here. So I was at that meeting at the Vista Ridge, and the atmosphere was kind of not what I would think it would be for a upstanding town hall. I found that a lot of the the back and forth was very bullying to some of the people there. I thought that the moderation was not as pronounced as it should have been. And I was there because I'm part of the community that is providing services to unhoused individuals. So I see it and I speak to people every single day. Can you turn the mic on, please?
It's on, sir.
Okay, now it is. All right, so I see it every day, and I talk to people every day, and the problem is just getting worse. It's not getting any better with the systems that we have in place. We have to figure something out. I know that motel is a bad place. I spent many nights there in my younger years at the same place. I know it is. But I also know that a lot of people that go in there, if not most of them, do not succumb to that lifestyle forever. I really believe that if an opportunity is given to people, that they can grow, and they can become better people and be pillars of society. I'm not saying I'm a pillar, but I am someone that came from that area, and I am someone that has been able to reach beyond that and do something with his life. And I really believe that if people give other people a chance, that it can work. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next is Kelsey Morgado, to be followed by Laura Kelly.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. If you haven't had an opportunity already, I would really encourage you to read my letter to the editor that was published in the Daily Republic on Sunday that discusses the permanent supportive housing project that is set to go in on North Texas Street. Since learning about this project on August 3rd, I have spent hours researching, reading, watching past city council meetings, asking questions, but most importantly, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. And it's so easy for us to get caught up in the anger and the hostility that we've seen about this issue, but underneath all of that emotion, I'm just hoping that everyone can really hear the concern of the community. And the biggest concern that I'm hearing from the community is that the city council is starting to move forward with things without properly engaging the community. And Vice Mayor and Mayor, I want to thank both of you for organizing the town hall. I think hindsight is 20/20. You know, sure, there could have been opportunities to do things differently. I don't know if you're familiar with the quotation by Theodore Roosevelt about the man in the arena. And quite frankly, you two are the only ones that were really organizing, getting together, and working to engage the community, and I thank you both for that very much. I quickly just want to follow up with Councilmember Carr. I really appreciated our email exchange a few days ago. I followed up with you after my last public comment, and you know, I have to be honest with you, professionally working as a licensed advanced alcohol drug counselor, my immediate reaction was that you would be biased, and professionally this would be in your best interest to just push through and see happen. And I learned from our email dialogue that that may not be the case, and you're still open to hearing additional ideas and feedback from the community, so I thank you for that. And you and I had a wonderful phone conversation, so thank you for the opportunity to just connect with you. And
Your
thank you
time's
so
up.
much for the time.
Thank you.
Next is Laura Kelly, to be followed by Anna Patero.
Hi, I want to talk about the town hall meeting also. My experience was very different than hers. I felt unsafe there. I loved the way the meeting was open with, we had an Oprah that was going to, you know, really take care of things. Oprah would have never put up with what you put up with. That is not a way to moderate a meeting. I felt attacked. I never even said if I was for it or against it, and still got attacked. I got attacked when I went out into the parking lot, and that was because of how that meeting was fed. So, yes, we want to know the truth. We want to ask questions, but that wasn't a safe place to do it. I saw people be so rude to you. I was sick about it. And the two young men, they were there to answer questions, but they couldn't because people were screaming at them. I didn't get one question answered I wanted to ask because I was too scared to even talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Anna Patero, to be followed by Jose Carrizales.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm here as a member of the community to express my great appreciation and gratitude for three entities here, the Public Works, all of you, and especially Mr. Bill Way. Every Friday, my group and I pick up trash on Lopes Road and Sassoon Valley Road as part of the Adopt a Street program. And whether or not the Public Works are working, Valerie Stanfield still asks the Public Works people to come and pick up our trash, even though they're not working. So I want to thank her especially, Valerie Stanfield is her name, and all of the members of the Public Works Department who come and pick up our trash diligently every Friday, even though they're not working. Second, I wanted to thank all of you and the commission that you put together for all the beautiful artwork downtown. We have students who go to school at Armio High School, which is right down the street from Texas Street. And I will bet you that their test scores are going to improve because when they walk down Texas Street, it looks beautiful and it looks clean. I want to thank you all for that. I know it's 3 years in the making, but it's here and there's more to come, I'm sure. And finally, I want to especially thank Mr. Bill Way. I teach at Solano College, and we have an amazing sports broadcasting program there that would not have happened without Mr. Bill Way. Our sports broadcasting program at Solano College broadcasts live our Rodriguez High School games all the way up to Vacaville. So all of our schools, our high schools here in Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District get to be on Channel 27, on Channel 28 because of all of you and because of the partnership that Bill Way, all that work that he did over the years with Solano Community College. And I want to thank the city for all of that and thank Mr. Bill Way, and also especially, I know I'm a month late, the parade, 4th of July parade on TV, I had it on all my TVs. And it was wonderful. So I want to thank you all for that, and whoever the MC was had a beautiful voice. And finally, thank you all for everything, and I want to thank our peace officers and our firefighters for all that you do, and for your families for sharing you with us. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Mr. Tonneson, for always representing us. Ms. Williams also.
Next is Jose Carrizales, to be followed by Ed Resendez.
Jose Carrizales. Thank you for Councilmember Carr for your announcements. I really appreciate those announcements that you made. I am a proud, unsheltered, homeless, unhoused person. 2014, 2016 was my journey in Vallejo. What I witnessed and what I experienced firsthand was disgusting at this alleged town hall, was disgusting, offensive, it's funny, and very, very hurtful. I did not appreciate it as an unsheltered person. It was a clear and intentional attempt to mislead and provide gross misinformation, clearly, absolutely for political gain. That's all that was up for. Let's be real now. Permanent supportive housing works. Alameda County, there's 5 locations, 266 units. Contra Costa County, 220 units, 3 locations. Marin County, 3 locations, 102 units. San Francisco County, 7 locations, 767 units. San Mateo County, 5 locations, 210 units. And my city of Vallejo, Broadway Project, 47 units. This council has a chance to provide much needed housing. Although it may be a drop in the bucket, at least something is done. Something is done. You have a chance to help those without a voice in this matter. James Oakley was crushed to death by Vallejo's maintenance crew's bulldozer on Christmas Eve, 2024. His voice will never, ever be heard again because he's crushed to death. Majority of council has a chance to show true leadership and help my unsheltered.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. I know my
Thank
time is
you.
up. I can see the clock there.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Next is Ed Resendez, to be followed by Andrew Peterson.
Well, thank you. I was at that town hall, and I just want to say thank you to Pam and the mayor for setting that up, because I think we were all kind of blindsided because we were unaware that it was going on. That was the main thing. That's why it kind of got hostile, because people didn't know what was going on. So it was kind of in the beginning, but then as Pam went around, tried to get to the most people she could, but the one thing is we were unaware. I mean, I live in Paradise Valley, and I care where I live, and I just want it to be safe. I have no problem with taking care of homeless or people who are trying to get on their feet, but you can't keep enabling people. Maybe we have to have some place where that one lady was speaking to build it, where they can have an institution for people who are on drug problems or stuff like that. I was there, and I don't come to these things. I don't talk a lot, but that was my first time going there and first time here. So I just wanted to say my piece. So let us vote.
Thank you for coming.
Next is Andrew Peterson, to be followed by Margarita Zuniga.
Thank you, council members. I'm here to talk on behalf of this this project. I have a quote here from Mayor Moy. This project is another significant step forward, supporting individuals of all income levels who need that hand up, providing the appropriate resources and creating pride for the community for those who may not have felt it in a while. I'm not sure what's going to happen after the town hall last week, but it seems like the town hall is an opportunity for politicians in our city to flop. I work closely with the AI community, and there's now a new AI tool which is pretty spectacular. It reaches out to voters to explain to voters how their representatives vote in office on the subjects that they take. And I think this would be a great opportunity to use as a test case to see who was in favor of this as they were running for office, and now who are going to vote against it. And these types, there's only a few people in here. The entire voting block needs to be made aware of this through AI phone calls and AI conversations, and to let the voters know how people campaign and then how they vote. And that is coming. Thank you.
I look forward to it, sir.
Next is Margarita Zuniga.
Good evening, council members. My name is Margarita, and I'm a parent of two. My husband and I have lived in Paradise Valley for about 20 years, and we love the neighborhood. I am here for this meeting. I actually left work early because I was under the impression that the Danko project was going to be on the agenda, and to my surprise, it wasn't. I'm not sure how these flyers are circulating the area. I got it in my mailbox on Monday. So I made arrangements to be here today on time. So I have two questions from the council members. When can we expect that this topic is going to be on the agenda? So that we have ample time to be able to communicate to the Paradise residents or anyone else that might be interested in coming to this meeting. So I would like to get clarification on that date. And then also, how can we get this on the ballot and allow the residents of Fairfield to be able to vote on this, on whether or not we want this project to go on? So, thank you.
I'll let the city manager speak to when there's going to be a town hall meeting by the developer, Danco, and also when it'll be in front of us next. You have those dates?
Yeah. So next Wednesday, August 27th, 5 to 7 p.m., here at Willow Hall in our community center. will be a meeting to talk about the project that Danco is hosting.
From 5 to 7, you said?
From 5 to 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then in terms of, any other formal approvals in the process for the project, the next tentative date that it would go before a body would be the Planning Commission. And I think that's tentatively, I'm looking back to staff, September 10th. That's a Wednesday, September 10th. It would go to Planning Commission. I don't have specific dates where the regulatory agreement, where any grant approvals, any of those things would come to City Council just yet. But August 27th is the meeting at Willow Hall to answer questions and identify all of the details of the project. September 10th will be a Planning Commission meeting, and I think September 17th will be another informational meeting hosted by Danco, the developer. So August 27th, September 10th, September 17th, those are all the upcoming opportunities for there to be information on the project.
Sorry, just for clarification, so for the September 10th and September 17th meeting, those will be held where?
September 10th, Planning Commission is here.
Okay.
And is that at 5 or 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock, 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then on the 17th, I don't know if we have at Willow Hall, 5 to 7 p.m. as well.
And as far as the community voting on this project, I'm going to speak with the city manager and city attorney about tomorrow, about doing that, agendizing it. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I don't have any more speaker cards, but I have 3 hands raised online. Valeria, can you bring the first person online, please?
Yes, the first one is anonymous. You have 3 minutes.
Or 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes, sorry.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, Council, and staff for the time today. My name is DeAndre Richard. I'm a resident of Fairfield, born and raised, and I also live in District 4. And I'm a local service provider on the proposed Vista Ridge project with Danco. I just wanted to formally, I know city manager spoke to it, but I wanted to formally invite you all to the community information meeting for the proposed Vista Ridge project. That's going to take place on next Wednesday, August 27th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Willow Hall. I think the meeting will look a little lot different than the town hall that took place a couple weeks ago. I know I received a lot of feedback from people about just how unsafe and uncomfortable and kind of volatile that the environment was. The environment was just kind of angry. It really wasn't informative or a way to receive or hear or discuss information about the proposed project. And this was a City of Fairfield meeting to receive information on that, and really not to be heckled or booed at just for having a difference of opinion. And especially myself as the coordinated entry operator, I kind of felt uncomfortable in the environment as well. Like Fairfield is a pro-housing city designation, and as a CE operator for Solano County, we're required to follow HUD guidelines. So some of that misinformation that was being spread and or encouraged from the city could be damaging to like future projects, future potential funding, current contracts, if it looked like we aren't following the HUD guidelines. So for the August 27th community meeting, it would be just that, a meeting on information, not to kind of be heckled or feel unsafe about. We want to appropriately facilitate that. We did get to hear a lot of great questions about the project, even people coming up to us after the meeting respectfully to ask, follow-up questions or folks that might have been skipped over during the meeting. So we want to answer those questions with some facts, and that may require a little bit more than just a yes or a no. So Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, and community, please feel free to join us next week on Wednesday.
Thank you.
And the next
Hold your
speaker?
applaud, please.
The next one is also anonymous. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor Moy, Vice Mayor Bertani, and City Council. My name is Kari Rader. I am with CanB. Last week's town hall at Paradise Valley was an embarrassing example of a city gone rogue. So little respect for community, providers, council members, and Fairfield staff. I left early due to the disruptive behavior of the audience and the lack of control over the meeting. It truly was a safety concern. I hope we can continue to have conversations, but that we can do it in a better fashion moving towards the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carrie.
Next speaker is called Zach. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Zach Firestone. I wanted to echo some sentiment that was shared today. I wasn't able to make the town hall meeting, but I did want to thank Mayor and Vice Mayor for sticking up for this community. When I listened back a month ago to hear that the rest of the council was pushing forth the agenda with no community involvement, it was clear that outreach by Danco and this council had not been done. Was very concerned and disappointed with this council to blindly push forth the Sure Stay project without community involvement. You will not find too many people that live closer to this Sure Stay project. You are hearing from an outraged community who drives by the homeless every single day that's already in our community. If this was directly to assess that might be one thing, but for a Sure Stay project that potentially will bring in 90 plus other individuals on top of the homeless we already have here, yes, you are going to get a community that is going to be very against this project because we already have issues that are not being addressed. We're putting a pretty bow around this with no promises that things will get better. A lot of people that don't live in the community and will never even stop by the Sure Stay project once it's started. And I strongly urge this to be a balloted issue, that the actual residents who live in the area and will be affected by it get a true say in this project moving forward or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Next speaker is Melvin Cohen. You have 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and neighbors. My name is Melvin Cowan. I'm the founder of Enough Housing, an organization dedicated to developing dignified housing solutions in partnership with communities, local leaders, counties, and state. Fairfield has already demonstrated leadership by earning the pro-housing city designation, recognition from the state that the city is serious about addressing the housing crisis. That designation isn't just a title. It unlocks millions of dollars in competitive state housing funds. But if Fairfield were to step away from projects like the Home Key initiative with Danco, that status is at risk, and so is future funding at a time when funding is very critical for affordable housing creation. Tonight, I want to lift up another opportunity we're working on, a hotel conversion project at 2170 North Texas Street with motel owner Sahiri Mahat LLC. Together, we're exploring a 55-unit housing project that could bring stability, services, and dignity to some of Fairfield's most vulnerable residents. This is not something we want to do in isolation. Our vision is to co-create this project with council and the county behavioral health, with state partners, and most importantly, the Fairfield community. I know their concerns, we've heard them. The evidence is clear. Supportive and affordable housing doesn't bring decline, it brings stability, it strengthens neighborhoods, reduces strain on first responders, and builds economic vitality by keeping residents connected to local businesses and services. Fairfield has a great opportunity to lean in with courage in this time, and so supporting projects like the Home Key Initiative now and working hand in hand on new opportunities like the Sahiri Mahat Enough Housing, a 55-unit project, shows that Fairfield is ready to take lead, ready to protect its pro-housing status, attract resources, and most importantly, ensure no one in the city is left without a place to call home. Housing is humanity.
Your time is up, sir. Thank you.
Okay, no more hands raised.
All righty then. We'll move on then. We're going to go to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk, consent calendar notice.
All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion unless a member of the City Council or the public requests that separate action be taken on a specific item. I don't have any speaker cards for, I don't have any
Oh,
speaker cards
yeah.
for consent.
Yeah, yes, Councilwoman Williams.
Yes, Mayor, I have a question about K6.
Okay, so why don't we remove K6, and we'll take your question on that, Councilwoman?
Okay, I'll read item K6.
Thank you.
Resolution 2025-169, Downtown Theater Amendment, approving a second amendment to the management agreement for the operation and maintenance of the Fairfield Center for the Creative Arts to extend the term through February 28th, 2026. The contact person I have is Juanita Johnson. Did you need her to speak about this?
Mr. City Manager, could you?
Yeah, Councilmember Williams, you said you were pulling it
You had
because
a
you had a
question?
specific question. Staff didn't have a presentation plan, but if there's a specific question you have, we're more than happy to answer.
Yeah, my question is surrounding the RFP process, surrounding, this downtown theater project.
I'll leave that to Christina Kounzinger, our Parks and Rec Director.
Sorry. Similar to what we have done in the past, we have established a process for the RFP, RFQ process, which included the first round, I will say, is what we asked for a statement of qualifications for any respondents. And we have a selection committee of 6 people that review that independently. And then the second phase of that first process is then to bring those respondents in for what we call like a presentation interview. And then those same 6 committee members are there independently scoring, but collectively and asking and engaging with the respondents. So we are currently still in the process, and the next phase will be receiving business plans from all of the respondents. So we'll go through a second round of similar where there'll be an independent review of those selection committee members, and then we'll come together with the respondents and do a second round of interviews based on that new information that comes forward.
The reason why I'm asking is because there's concerns of favorism. So could you address that? Is everyone treated equally? Are people getting
The process
favoritism
itself
points?
is very objective, and it's intended that way, so I am facilitating that, and everything is kept internal until a recommendation comes before the city council.
And if this delay, so tonight we're being asked to extend to, I'm fumbling with the device. This extends the contract, so there's no break in service.
And with the process, looking at our calendar of the selection process would have brought us to almost the end of the year. So the request from the Downtown Theater was if we would consider the extension to allow going through the end of the year with pre-programmed performances and so forth. And so we felt very comfortable doing that. And then should some other, depending on the outcome, then it also provides a transition period if it were to be a new provider.
Great. And my last question is, so if we do approve tonight, they'll be notified immediately, and so they will be made aware that their contract is extended through the end of the year
Yes,
if we agree.
they are aware that we were here tonight to extend that contract, yes.
Thank you. No other questions?
All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
Hold on one second, because I need Esther to help me with the vote.
Oh, okay. Oh, that part.
How come everything is selected right now?
I'm on K6.
Wait, everything is
It'll pop up on your screen.
Why is it highlighted?
Your computer.
There, okay.
On extending
I'm on K6.
just the one, just Missouri Street Theater.
Yeah, this would be just for item K6.
K6.
Yep. And then next would be the remainder of the consent calendar.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Say,
Okay, now we need a move.
there's a move and a second.
A second, okay.
Open voting.
And now I'm going to,
Oh.
sorry, now I'm going to open voting. Sorry, my mouse is not cooperating.
Hands off, everybody. Okay.
Okay, now you can vote. And now I'm going to close the vote. And the motion carried 6-0.
All righty. So now we are going to, I'll entertain a motion on the entire consent calendar.
Okay.
So moved.
Wait, sorry.
Hey, hold on.
We're going too fast.
What?
They're gonna push it. Yeah.
When you ask for this as we figure this out, are you going to be asking still, or are we going to start going to?
So I think from a process standpoint, what would be easiest is if the mayor says, okay, now I'll ask for a motion. That's
then
the
that
signal
pops up.
for the clerk then
Ding.
to push to you all the motion in second.
That should only take us about a year.
And then, yeah, whoever pushes it first and then, second, then that,
6?
Yeah.
No.
it's
mouse.
automatic
It'll do
by,
it.
yeah.
Thompson and Carr.
The only time that I'll ask is if it's a confusing motion, then I'm going to ask the person to state the motion.
Yeah.
We get those sometimes.
So if it's a motion that's going to be made outside of what is staff's recommendation in the staff report,
What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear
then that's where we'll take that by voice and correct it afterwards.
the votes.
And Madam Mayor, while we're waiting, just a reminder from your city attorney, this does not change your ability to discuss the matter after a motion is made or to make a secondary motion. All of Rosenberg's rules of orders are still in play. So at any time, if you need to, somebody makes a motion, somebody seconds, and then somebody wants to make a amendment or a motion to continue or to call the question, all of those are still in play. So don't feel like you have to wait for the screen to come up. You can still make your motions as you see fit.
All righty. Thank you.
Now she's going to open the motion.
Okay, now I'm opening the motion for the regular consent, excluding item 6.
Okay.
Second, and open the vote.
And
about
now,
that? Oh.
and now I'll open it to voting.
Yep.
We're learning.
Okay.
You can announce you're closing the vote.
I'm closing the vote. And it carried 6-0.
Very good. So we're going to go ahead and move on to new business.
And now where do I go?
Down to new business, sorry. We're doing the oaths now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, new business, L1, minute action approving the mayor's appointments to the new, to the Measure P Oversight Committee. We need, that's another vote, so I need to, okay.
We have any public speakers on this?
Do I have any public speakers? I don't have any cards.
Okay.
Okay.
And doesn't look like any hands are up online. So I will entertain a motion to approve the mayor's appointment for the Measure P Oversight Committee.
And then scroll down again. Oh. Sorry, bear with me, it's a learning curve. So move in second.
Okay, move in second.
And then open the voting.
I'm opening the voting. Okay.
Okay, carried.
Very
We'll
good.
ask.
So if, Madam
and-
Clerk, if you could perform the oath.
Yes, I'm going to call up the 3 new members. Kwok Ma, Deanna Murad, is she here? She said she might not make it. And Richard Romo? I'm going to come up there.
I'm taking this slow.
Testing. Here we go. Okay, if you would just raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kwok Ma, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion. Or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations. Did you want someone to take your photo? Oh, here, let me have you sign right there. And this is for you. And you get some jelly beans.
Gotta have jelly beans.
You stand here and I'll get your picture with the council, if everyone can stand. There we go. Very nice, thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, yes. Thank you. There we go. All right. So now we're going to go to public hearings.
Public hearings, M1, ordinance 2025-07, amending ordinance 2020-04 to remove the prohibition of use of electric bikes in Rockville Hills Regional Park, amending section 12B4 of Chapter 12B, Parks and Recreation, subsection 8 of the Fairfield City Code to remove the prohibition of use of electric bikes in Rockville Hills Regional Park and allow the use of Class 1 electric bikes in Rockville Hills Regional Park. And our presenter is Sanjay Mishra, Director of Public Works.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. At the meeting in May 2025, RCAC proposed updating the ordinance 2020-04 to allow the use of e-bikes in the park, and the Council approved the updating the ordinance. Fairfield City Code Chapter 12B currently prohibits electric bicycles in city parks. Under California law, e-bikes are classified into 3 types: Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. A Class 1 is a pedal assist bike up to 20 miles an hour. This proposed ordinance amendment would revise the section 12B.4 to allow only Class 1 e-bikes in the open space in the city park areas. So that's my brief on that. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to start up by opening up the public hearing. Do we have any public speakers on this?
I do not. Did anyone wish to speak on this matter?
All right. Oh, you picked in the hind end.
Oh, you're just kidding. Oh,
You're a sweetheart. Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing, bring it back to council. How do you wish to go on this? Any questions? Anything? Comments, questions? All right, then.
I'll open it. If you're ready to vote, I can open it.
I'll entertain a motion.
Oh, you already did it? Okay.
All right.
Okay, so then now I'll open it to voting.
All right. They're always fast at Armio, the boys. Oops.
I'll close the vote. And it carried
Go away.
6-0.
Thank you for all your work. I mean it. Thank you. Yeah. All right, now we're going to move on to M2, please.
Okay, now we'll move on to M2, Resolution 2025-170, approval of tax-exempt lease purchase financing agreement, approval of an equipment lease purchase agreement, and an escrow and account control agreement with Bank of America Public Capital Corp. To finance energy efficiency improvements, and declaration of intention to reimburse expenses. And our presenter is John Furtado, Director of Financing. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. So this is not a new subject. We're talking about whenever we need to finance any project or take on debt, we need to get council approval. So back in December of 2024, you approved the energy conservation project. This project gave us authorization to look for financing up to $23 million. Now, just to clarify, because there's been a lot of talk going around on why is the city doing a project like this when, we have a structural deficit. So this project basically pays for itself. As you see, Wildan did the analysis that over 30 years, there's a 15.6 million saving. So one example would be the plant that we have here is very old. We spend $100,000 in gas. The new plant would be operated, say, at a cheaper price of $40,000. The savings that you get then pays off your loan. And then the $9 million that we have invested in this project also comes from dedicated sources. They can only be used for those infrastructure projects. They cannot be used to general fund.
You mean
So
I can't
just-
hire cops with it?
Yeah, correct. So you couldn't do
Just kidding,
anything in the
yeah.
general fund with it.
I'm always trying to get more cops. Anyway, go ahead.
So just to clarify that one, now, the project cost breakdown comes from these funding sources. I won't go over them except for the financing portion, which is the 21.3 million that we are asking approval for today. And I just want to kind of touch upon the contingency. So there was a contingency approved, which we have not financed against because we don't want to pay interest on something that we may or may not use, so we are going to reserve IGS money for that. On the financing breakdown, we got the two golf courses, Rancho Solano, that's mainly HVAC and solar. Paradise Valley is lighting, HVAC and solar again for the transit. General fund is a mix of lighting, solar, and HVAC. And those improvements, as I said, would pay for themselves. So what is a tax-exempt lease? This is basically a mechanism by which, without going and issuing bonds, we can borrow interest-free, or it's tax-free to the people who buy it, so it gets cheaper for us. So this kind of mechanism is used by which all the equipment that we will install will be pledged back to the bank. So their recourse is if we don't pay our debt service, they could come and take that HVAC, take that solar away. So the procurement process, what we did is we issued an RFP. We distributed it to all the local banks. We emailed it to many of the players who are in the TELP market. We received 3 bids back. Bank of America was selected mainly because they beat everyone on the interest rates, as well as the flexibility in their program to the IRA tax credit. So that is not the Irish Republican Army or the retirement accounts. That is the Inflation Reduction Act. So with that, we are eligible to certain credits, and that's where they gave us the option that we could pay those credits back and buy down the loan. So the agreement overview, we would be borrowing 21.3 million. The interest rate on a 15-year term is 4%, and as I said, we could repay them some of the credits that we receive after the project is complete. We also had a scenario where we could extend the term to 20 years. It would cost 4.2 or 4.3% instead. When we did the analysis, that would be $170,000 less paying off every year for 5 years, but it would add 3.1 million to the project. So we thought it was in the best interest to go for the 15-year. Looking at the agreement overview, there's some things that we need by law to do. So we need to declare what's the true interest. So usually when you have bond issues and others, they are closing costs. They're not much costs here because it's almost like a straightforward borrowing. So the total financing cost is just that 40,000, so it shaves off on the third decimal. And the proceeds expected to be received are the 21.3 million. The debt service over the years, the 15 years would amount to, I believe, 7.6 million. And then also in today's agenda, you approved the Eide Bailly consultant contract increase. So Eide Bailly are working with us on the tax side to get those credits that we would generate from the solar and other aspects of the thing. So in their estimates, we could get on the low end 2.5 to 3.2 million back on the project. So the recommended actions, of course, is to hold a public hearing. We've already noticed it in the Daily Republic. And then you would approve the resolution to approve the equipment lease purchase and our ability to go out and close this deal, if I may. And with that, I'm ready to take any questions the council may have.
Councilman Tonneson?
So, am I calculating that to $157,713.68 a month? Does that sound right?
Sorry?
$157,000 a month, does that sound right?
If you divided the 995, yes.
And then on the term, any prepayment penalty on that, or would a city pay off something like this early?
So the only amounts that we can pay early, because these are fixed contracts, is this amount that we get back in credits. So the 2.5 to 3 million that we would get back in credits from the federal government for the solar and HVAC.
Okay.
Those are, we have the ability.
That's what I was looking for.
They were
Thank
the
you.
only ones who offered that to us.
Any other questions here? I do. I have a question. So earlier on in an earlier slide, you said that the savings that we get will pay for, is it the $7.6 million? Will pay for that?
The interest, the 7.6 million, yes.
Yeah.
The net savings are projected to be 15.6 million, even after considering debt at, I believe it was 4.4% or something like that is when this study was done. So the savings could be higher, but again, the projections were based on where PG&E rates would go and other stuff like that.
Yeah, good luck with that. What happens if it doesn't? We have to keep paying for it, obviously.
Correct. And then there is a component of this whole project I didn't talk about it because you heard it before, is some of these components have passed the age. Like, we keep having the air conditioning breakdown because the plant is older than me, as I always say. So those things will cost you a lot more to upkeep than replace. So this is not a luxury project, it's a needed project. And then this just makes it more attractive that it would pay for itself, or even in worst case scenario, almost pay for itself, if you might.
All right, that answers my question. So when we make a motion on this, I think it's great that we just punch this, but I need to know what the motion is so it's on the record. In other words, I'm supporting this to go forward so we can vote on that. Or, I'm not. I'm making a motion not to do this. So do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Oop. Okay.
Wow.
You know what? We didn't open the public hearing. We have to do that. I'm doing it now. It's all right.
Any speaker cards?
And nothing online, I take it? Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing. We've got a motion and a second on the table.
And now it's open to voting.
Oh, it says it up there.
Okay, I'm going to close the vote. And the motion carried 6-0.
All right, thank you. And now we'll move on to item M3, please.
And Madam Mayor,
Yes.
because this item is a quasi-judicial hearing by City Council, by law, the city attorney cannot advocate for city staff and advise City Council. So at this time, I'm pleased to introduce Joanne Tran, who will act to advise the City Council in this matter.
Thank you.
Okay, item M3, Resolution 2025-171, appeal to determine the delinquent transient occupancy tax for motel located at 2170 North Texas Street, approving/sustaining or denying/overruling the appeal of the City of Fairfield administrative hearing determination regarding interest on delinquent transient occupancy and tourism tax assessment for Quality Inn, previously known as Super 8 Motel, located at 2170 North Texas Street, Fairfield, California, 94533. Owners Shri Guru Hari, LLC, and Shri Mahant, LLC, and Marie Parunjanwala. I hope I said that correctly. Is John Furtado, are you the presenter? Or
So
I have him down as the contact, sorry.
So this is a hearing to consider the appeal brought by Quality Inn, previously known as Super 8 Motel, located at 2170 North Texas Street, Fairfield. Can we please have all parties to the hearing introduce themselves?
John Furtado, tax collector for the city of Fairfield, in my
Okay.
role as tax collector.
All right, thank you. Attorney David Lim.
David Lim for the City of Fairfield.
All right, and the attorney for the Super 8 Motel, is it Frank Weiser? Oh, he's virtual? Okay. All right. This is a reminder that this is a hearing brought on by an appeal by Quality Inn on April 2nd, 2025. The City of Fairfield issued a letter of notice of third assessment and hearing rights for interest due on delinquent transient occupancy tax, that's the TOT, to the operator of Quality Inn for $34,327.15. The operator of the motel appealed the assessments to the finance director in his capacity of tax administrator on April 9th, 2025, and a hearing was held on May 5th, 2025. The finance director denied the motel's request for relief, and the motel has now appealed to the city council. A reminder that this appeal and hearing relate only to the third assessment at issue, that is, the interest assessed on the unpaid transient occupancy tax. The matter of the first assessment was resolved by this city council at a hearing on August 15, 2023, and the second assessment was resolved by this city council at a hearing on November 19, 2024. Pursuant to Fairfield Municipal Code 1820, the city council will hold a hearing to determine whether to approve or deny this appeal of the third assessment. A reminder that this is a quasi-judicial proceeding, so we will swear in witnesses and consider evidence. However, the council has broad discretion to consider this matter, so we will not be strictly following the rules of evidence or other courtroom procedures. Are both sides ready to proceed?
Real quick, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
On the Zoom, on the back end, we don't see anybody by the name of Frank Weiser. So, Mr. Weiser, if you're listening and you're on a phone number, if you could hit, I believe it's *9, that will raise your hand. So that way, Valeria, who's running the meeting on Zoom, can bring you into the meeting and allow you to speak. Do you know, is his phone number start 213? Yes. Okay, Valeria, bring in that 213 phone number.
Yes, he's on.
Thank you.
Okay, Sir Clerk, could you please swear in the city staff and the attorneys?
Okay. Do I just say, do you swear to tell the truth? Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Is that it?
And online, please.
Sir? The attorney online, do you,
Yes.
Do you swear to tell the
Yes.
truth? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, will the city please present a brief overview of the issues that led to the city's issuance of the letter of delinquent transient occupancy tax to the operator of Quality Inn?
So just to recap, we had the first assessment, which was on the unpaid TOT and penalties. After that matter was resolved by the city council, we sent in a demand letter for that amount, which was not paid. So subsequent to that, we placed a lien on the property, and then we assessed interest again on the outstanding amounts, because the code needs us to assess 0.5% every month. So we assessed that as a second assessment, which was appealed by the hotel owners. I denied the appeal, the city council denied the appeal, and then we placed a lien on that, and now we are at the third appeal, which is we assessed interest again of $34,000, to which they have appealed. The arguments that they made to me were the same as I've heard before, so there was nothing new for me to consider in order to not deny the hearing. So That's how I denied it, and they have appealed to the city council based on what I guess Mr. Weisner is going to argue today.
All right, thank you. So would the attorney for Quality Inn like to present your appeal, please, sir?
Yes, thank you. This is Frank Weiser, Madam Mayor, and members of the City Council, and thank you. And after I speak, I do want to have Mr. Khatri, Sunil Khatri, or not Neville Burnjawala to speak also after me. So I don't know if they need to be sworn in afterwards. But briefly, I did file an appeal letter to the city clerk as far as this appeal to the council on June 5th, 2025. And I understand the position of the city that the first two appeals, the city's position has been resolved. At best, although I take issue with finality, even at an administrative level, and that's going to have to be decided by a court of law, but it's certainly not judicially final. And the reason I bring that in is not to belabor what we did in the first two appeals, but only because the arguments I'm going to present tonight, which are tracking the same arguments that we made earlier, are going to be subject to a case that we filed in the Solano Superior Court. It was served on the city prior to the hearing at 3:55 today. The petition for writ of mandate. There are some damages claims, but I only served the complaint without a summons at this point. We do have a summons because we're limiting right now the issue to the petition for writ of mandate, which includes the original appeal of the principal and now the second appeal, and now we have the third, which would be subsumed within that case. And therefore, because of that, our position is that the first two appeals, although I understand once again the city's position, that those are resolved at best, would be only at an administrative level, but not judicially final. So that being said, my June 5th letter to the city on this appeal, which I said does track the first two, the main point I want to bring in is the point that I brought up, that my clients are not subject to the municipal code sections that made the assessments because of the fact this was an involuntary foreclosure of the previous owner and licensees. And the point there being there's a fundamental due process objection because of the fact that this was an involuntary foreclosure. It was not a voluntary sale between two parties subject to the ordinance, but something that was a previous owner who owed that money, had collected the tax, presumably, and not paid the city. There's a fundamental taxing problem. They were not the subjects of your ordinance for the collection of the tax, could not have been, and by an involuntary foreclosure, it simply cannot be for due process purposes the subject of the tax, either as the collector or the parties that have to pay. That is the argument I've made in the previous appeals. It's the argument I'm making now. Obviously, it's going to be the argument, the principal argument in the court action on a review by the Solano Superior Court on the issue. And I did cite in all of the appeals, including this one, a California Supreme Court case that was the in-rate transient auction tax cases, a 2016 California Supreme Court case at 2 Cal 5th 131. That case dealt with online providers like Expedia, who might be booking people at motels or hotels, but they're not the operators, they're not the owners, and they are therefore not subject to the transient auction tax. And that would be the same here. I mean, in an involuntary foreclosure, my clients did not own or operate the property at the time that these taxes became due. Therefore, my clients could not be the ones who are subject to the ordinance for collection of the tax or payment of the tax. I raised in my appeal letter various constitutional objections. I think what flows from the due process objection under the in-rate transient auction tax cases and this argument fundamentally about involuntary foreclosures is that if in fact that is the case, in light of that, that would then constitute an unconstitutional Fifth Amendment takings case. because of the fact that the regulation that you are now applying against them is a regulation that goes too far, and that can be a regulatory taking. There are two types of takings under the United States Supreme Court case law. One is called a regulatory taking under what we call the Penn Central test, which is Penn Central versus City of New York. It's a 1978 U.S. Supreme Court case, and fundamentally, even a regulation, even if a city has a constitutional right to impose a regulation, if the regulation goes too far and deprives a owner or operator of economic deprivation and a reasonable expectation of what their investment was in a property, that balanced against the regulation itself can still constitute a taking of their property. The regulation can be a taking of their property. I think that's what we have here. We don't have physical per se taking, but a regulatory taking. That was the basis of my Fifth Amendment takings clause. And then what also follows is substantive procedural due process claims. The substantive claim is under the merits of irrational and arbitrary, and that being, once again, it simply is irrational, and there is no rational upholding for a regulation that imposes a tax on somebody who had nothing to do with the taxing event, somebody who is not a party to that taxing event. So a owner and operator who is a part of the taxing event, certainly the city has a right to impose the tax. That would have been imposed on the previous owners and operators. But that is not my clients. They were not involved in this original assessment. They bought it from the bank through an involuntary foreclosure, and they are not parties. It is irrational, and it is arbitrary to tax them for it. Procedural due process claim is, although of course we are being given notice and opportunity to be heard before this council, we appreciate that, and before Mr. Furtado, we appreciate that. But the procedural problem is that the assessment in ab initio, the original assessment, would have allowed, at the time of the assessment, back when the taxing event occurred, notice and opportunity to be heard. That all of this is post facto, and post facto after they bought the property and then obtained the license. So I do think there is a due process problem, and the equal protection problem is once again, if you weigh an involuntary foreclosure versus somebody who is simply a part of the taxing event, or somebody who purchases a property or a motel by way of a voluntary transaction, those are they're being differentially treated. My clients are on a different footing than those people. My clients are not, as I said, a part of the original tax. I raised some other issues in my brief. I'm not going to go over them. I do want to point out one thing. In 1997, I litigated a case on behalf of the San Bernardino Hotel Motel Association, the San Bernardino Hotel Motel Association versus City of San Bernardino. I invalidated on facial facial due process grounds, what we call void for vagueness grounds, the City of San Bernardino's transient opposite tax. It was a published opinion, and I think that the demarcation between transient and permanent residence, as was indicated in that decision, still applies to your particular ordinance and would make the tax itself subject to, as I said, a facial challenge, not necessarily only in an as-applied challenge, but facially. So we are going to be arguing in court that this tax, the TOT itself, is unconstitutional under the void for vagueness doctrine, and also, as I think Mr. Furtado pointed out, or at least the initial implication was that this is somehow connected to a tourism tax. There are cases going back to 1849 by the U.S. Supreme Court called the passenger cases, 48 United States, 7 Howard, which talk about a travel tax that implicates interstate travel, and you have that would be fundamentally what a tourism tax talks about and what this kind of a tax is in some sense, can also implicate fundamental constitutional problems under the implied travel clause of the U.S. Constitution. So I've raised it. I'm still preserving all the rights as indicated in my letter for court. All that being said, and as I said earlier, and I said I think in my previous two appeals, and I know that the council is not going to revisit the first two appeals, and I understand that. That's for a court of law. But my clients, as I said, I'm quite impressed, these two young men really limited me in my litigation initially with the city. They did not want to go full force. I'm pretty much a litigator. I was just on the front page of the Daily Journal 3 weeks ago in Orange County. I do this every day, but they didn't want to. These are two young men who apparently, from what I understand, were raised here in this area, and they have ties to the community. They want very much to keep those ties. They want to resolve this issue. They're pretty much bound now because of this tax. It's not only affecting their business, but, you know, with the administrative lien being placed on there, they can't even finance or find a way to finance to make some resolution with the city. They would need that administrative lien somehow lifted. And I do know, although it's not before the council, I'm not asking the council to in any way determine this, but I know there are subsidiary issues with housing. I think it was mentioned in the public comments, and this should have been resolved. I just don't see why this is being litigated as it is. My clients have not gone forward full force ahead. We feel we're being forced into litigation. We didn't want to, and we still don't want to. As I said, I served the complaint only late this afternoon, only with the writ of mandate, not the inverse condemnation for damages. I didn't serve the summons, so it's only the writ of mandate, which doesn't require a summons, to show the city we're not looking for money. We're not looking for litigation. We're trying to resolve this. And there must be some path that there can be a mediation of this. Now, if it has to be in court, but hopefully these kind of cases can be resolved between the city and the owners without having to go to court. That's what I would urge the council to consider. I would even urge the council, I don't even know why the interest has to be calculated at this point. The underlying issue of the principal, now that it is in court, has to be determined first by the court. And I don't see how the city loses if in fact you're entitled to it by making another appeal here. It's only going to multiply litigation and cost more to the city, more to my clients, more of taxpayer funds. So I would ask the council to think about maybe an alternative resolution right now of this appeal, or putting it on hold. I don't think that in any way waives your rights on the interest if you're entitled to it. And let's see if there's a pathway to either a voluntary mediation or some way if we can sit down and talk. I'm going to ask Mr. Cottrey. I think Mr. Parnajoa is going to speak first after me, and then Mr. Cottrey, and let them explain to you. I know that some of these points, as Mr. Furtado says, were already mentioned in the previous appeals. The problem is, since this is an independent appeal, to set a proper evidentiary record, administrative record for the court, we've got to, bring all of this up again so we have a proper administrative record. So I ask the council to be patient, but I do think they're going to explain something more than just what they said before and what they want to do here. So,
okay, sir. We're going to go ahead and swear them in,
sure.
and have them come up and speak.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
stand by for just a second. I need to ask a question of our lawyer. So we're going to only focus on the third assessment and not speak about the litigation. That's for the courts. So we're going to only speak to the third assessment. So that's what I'm going to ask you two to first stand up, and the clerk's going to swear you in, and then you can come to the mic one at a time.
Okay, could you just raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You can come forward. Thank you.
Are you?
So we're just speaking to the third assessment.
Are you Sunny?
Yes, I'm Sunny.
Sunny.
I'm
Hi,
Sunny
Sunny.
Khatri. Thank you, Mayor Moy and Mayor Bertani and the council members. I appreciate the opportunity for me to speak today. You know, we've been going on with this for a long time. It's been over 2 years. And we've asked for settlement offers too, for like some kind of mediation done. Haven't had much pullback. I'm asking the council to sit down and we figure out something to resolve this and we're just continue going back and forth. It's going to cost us more, cost the city more. We're wasting funds here. See if we can figure out a way to sit down and come to a resolution. I have other opportunities I'd like to discuss at another meeting privately about stuff with the city. Some great opportunities that would help the city with other things that I could discuss offline and we can be more creative about. If you give me an opportunity about a project that I'd like to speak with, that would be something that we can always fund some of this, a number that we can, you know, come up with that's reasonable for both sides. Because we never collected these funds. The previous ownership had, you know, done whatever, and a lack of somebody who was handling at the finance at that time, never collected for 4 years. Why you leave something uncollected for 4 years? If somebody's not paying you, it should be paying you within 6 months, or next month, or it was just left aside, you know? So that's an old issue. We can't go back. We want to move forward, so what we can do to work together with the council. David Gassaway, please, we're asking you. So see we can sit down and try to figure out a solution, because interest and penalties are really hurting. Our hotel industry is down right now. We're already suffering. Our revenues and occupancies are just significantly down from the years. Everything that's going on in California and all around the United States is affecting us. Travel's down, tourism's down. We're hurting. We don't have $600 and something thousand there. We're barely surviving right now at this point. So I'm asking, instead of we go in these assessments and penalties and stuff, let's sit down and talk. Let's do some mediations and let's figure out a solution that works best for everything. And you know, I'm interested on a project as well. I'm a local resident. I have other properties in town. You know, I want to expand. I want to do other things. Maybe there's a big opportunity of new funding that's coming in, over $1 billion of funding that's reopened up for another opportunity. I had enough housing that was on call earlier, discuss about a project that I would have loved to had an opportunity in May to talk about our project against the other project that everybody's talking about currently. So those are opportunities. We could sit down. Funding's still available till end of October. We can make another thing happen, or an additional project. So thank you, council. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Are you okay? Does the city wish to respond?
Actually, with the board's position, I'd like to cross-examine Mr. Khatri briefly.
Sure.
Can you come back up to the microphone, Mr. Khatri? How you doing, sir?
Yes.
You purchased this hotel at issue, escrow closed, I believe, on or about January 3rd, 2023, correct?
No, that was actually March 1st.
Okay. but somewhere in early 2023, you purchased the hotel?
Yes.
Okay. And prior to that, around November, you were starting to think about it. You found this deal through
No.
foreclosure?
No, we weren't. Let me make this clear. This hasn't been cleared before. Bank owned this hotel because it was foreclosed. After that, we were managing the hotel for the bank. Sri Guru Hari LLC was just managing. So I don't think it was just a management company. So I don't know why it's even an assessment, because we're managing for the bank. Sri Mahant LLC was the purchaser of the LLC, of the hotel. So
in November 24th, 2022, you received a letter from the City of Fairfield notifying you of the provisions of the Fairfield Municipal Code, saying that you would be responsible for filing and paying any back transit-oriented tax. Weren't you?
Not me. I'm not the person in charge. It was I've never been asked or given
Your
anything.
partners were aware of it?
No. There was the bank owned the property. We had nothing to do with it.
So who sent us an email? Who sent the city an email on December 21st, 2022, talking about the pending owed transient-oriented taxes?
That would be me, yes.
So you knew, so in December 21st, 2022, you knew.
There was no amount was given to us.
But you could have asked,
John
right?
Fortano was on vacation, and he never gave me any numbers, no figures, nothing was given to us.
But on December 21st, 2022, you sent an email to the city acknowledging the fact that back transit-oriented taxes were owed, right? Yes or no, sir?
We didn't even know the amount. We didn't know nothing.
Yes or no? You sent
Yeah,
an
but
email
that's previous ownerships.
So yes,
That has
you knew
nothing
about
to do
it.
with us.
You didn't think, prior to purchasing a large hotel, making a substantial investment, to think, hey, maybe I should figure out what the amount is. You didn't do that, did you?
I cannot speak about it. I wasn't in contract about that.
I'm sorry, sir. You just said on December 21st, you sent an email. Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. So I'm asking you, you didn't think to inquire what the amount was, did you?
We did try to inquire, but nobody told us the amount. The person was on vacation and did not tell us anything. And waited after escrow, after 1 year later, and put the assessed the lien. How could you wait 1 year later? Yeah, how could you wait 1 year later to assess a lien?
So because someone was on vacation, you just thought, I'll
No,
just
there
purchase
was not
this
about
motel.
vacation, but there's no lien. A lien was not assessed after the purchase of the hotel, after 1 year later.
Okay.
How do you do that? If we had known that you were going to put a lien before we purchased the hotel, you do it before.
Let me change the topic real quickly. Last
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
What's the offer that you've made to the city to settle this amount? Currently, you owe $779,439. What is your offer to settle this? And I can convey that to my client.
Well, we have to sit down and do some negotiations with my attorney.
As you say, sir, we've been doing this for 3 years. Why don't you give us a number? What's the number?
We've given numbers.
Well, what's the number?
We've given different.
Emailed the numbers.
Yeah, and you haven't responded them. Nobody's responded to the emails.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor?
And I was
Yes.
involved in this transaction, so I like to talk, and I have more information.
Sure, you can speak.
So if you don't mind, I'll be
Sorry,
more specific.
let me finish my questions and then I'll stop. So was the original offer $30,000?
I believe it was 30. We did a 50,000 offer as a good faith, and then we haven't had any communication back. We denied or accepted or anything.
Or
or counter back. We should have a counter offer too, right?
So when I asked you a few seconds ago what the offer was, you did know what the offer was, you just didn't want to tell us that it was $50,000?
Well, no, I didn't. No.
No, only speak one at a time,
Okay.
please.
All the communication was via email from our attorney. So he was making the offers. I wasn't the one sending emails to you directly. Why would I do that?
Okay. Well, I appreciate that I know now the offer of $50,000. I'll talk to my client, but I have no further questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir.
If I get a, okay. My name is Neville Parujanwala, and I have been in this hotel industry for the last 20 years. By profession, I'm a mortgage broker and a commercial realtor. You can check my name, Google my name, and see all my transactions, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook. And all throughout my life, I have closed more than 100 transactions, own currently 5 hotels in different areas. I like to point out one thing, that 99.99% of the time, when we buy any hotel, we do not check with the city whether any TOT or any taxes are owed. And one of the reasons is, when the city, you can cross-verify with the other cities, Vallejo, San Francisco, and other cities that I work with, and we own a hotel in those cities. When a party don't pay any TOT for 6 months, maximum 1 year, they put a lien on it, regardless of what the code says, because that is something, a common practice, that every city and county does that. And if by negligence of a city, or whoever the finance department is, through the negligence, if they don't do the job, the new ownership cannot be penalized. Because, and also, there was a foreclosure, and there was a notice that was been published. Any vendors, any unpaid taxes has to be, they have those period, I don't know the exact days, but it's about 45 days or 30 days. In those period, any vendors or any person that didn't get paid, including mechanical lien, and this one is published by the lender in the newspaper, they have the rights within those days to put a lien. So why the lien wasn't been, number one question is, why lien wasn't been put on time? Whatever lien we had, it UCC filing by the furniture fixture vendors, they have been all cleared by the lender, and then the property was being transferred. We were also been, the lender actually told me that when they took the property, there was a lot of unpaid invoices, PG&E, and other millions of stuff. They told the vendors to collect it and go after the previous owners, not to on our side. So the bank, whatever that, they said, go with them, and they went up there and cleared it. Or any vendor that has a junior liens, bank just settle down. So lien is very important to put it, if they're just like property taxes. So for example, I wanted to make it clear to all the fellows up here that this is $1. I got it, I sold a cigarette, and I got this tax. I put it in my pocket, and this is my business.
Sir?
And I am liable
Sir,
for this,
I'm
not
gonna
the
ask
new
you-
ownership.
Sir, I'm going to ask you a question. We are focusing on this assessment.
Right, but he asked me those questions. I mean, my fellow Sonny, so I'm just replying to those. That the city had these chances to go over either the previous ownership or to assess and put it during that legal period in the foreclosure publication. Why the lien wasn't been put it? And we weren't giving a definition figure that this is the amount that you owed. In fact, the city took a statistics throughout the city. They didn't even have the firm figures. They didn't collect it for the last 4 years, figures from the previous ownership.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I know that Mr. Parnjwala is, your point is that we're only dealing with the third assessment.
That's correct.
Just to clarify what he's saying, I think, is that the interest follows the principal. And therefore, because the interest follows the principal, we do have an issue that always goes back to the issue of the original principal. And that's what I think Mr. Lim, if I understood him correctly, was going back to the original correspondence between Mr. Khatri and the city in December of 2022 or 2023, I think 2022. I think from what I understand of Mr. Khatri and Mr. Parnjwala's testimony is that without knowing the amount, even though there was correspondence, they were not, they're still bona fide purchasers for value because the city did not record a lien on the property that would have perfected that assessment for purposes of the bona fide purchase for value statutes. And therefore, as new buyers without a lien having been recorded before they took title to the property.
Sir, that is what is going to be before the court. You've sued us.
Right.
So let's stick to what we are talking about here, because this gets very confusing if you keep going back and forth. And so I'm going to go ahead and just one more time ask if anybody else has anything to say strictly to what we're talking about today, and not what you want to litigate with us in the courts.
Well, I think we've made our points already for the record.
Okay, sir.
So,
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other evidence or witnesses either side would like to consider? And I don't want to go over anything that we've already gone over. We've heard you here, and we understand that we have a lawsuit that our lawyers will handle. Is there anything else?
No, nothing by the city.
Nothing by the city? Y'all are good? Okay, so both sides rest then. So what I'm going to do now is bring this back to the council so we can discuss. And yes, Councilman Tonneson.
So I don't know if we've all three been here for,
Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. Is there any member of the public, thank you, Mr. City Manager, who wishes to speak to this? Okay. All right, now I'll bring it back. Sorry about that, Councilman.
so I don't think all of us were on this council when this started, but we had a pretty good conversation about it last time. I know you, Sonny. I mean, I see you in the community where you're certainly, you know, a good guy. I like you, but we're having the same conversation. You know, that conversation, when you went into it with the city attorney, Mr. Lim, there was nothing different. We know you offered 30 and then you offered 50. We know there was a lien that came up. I mean, that's all stuff we've already hashed out. There's nothing new that I see. So I'll be, if we vote or however, whatever it's called, I'll be voting the same, that we'll be supporting the city. And right now, we're talking about the third.
Third assessment? Yes, Councilman Doug, did you have something that you wanted to add?
No, I've got I'm good. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything? Okay, then I'm going to entertain a motion, and we'll have, so what we're looking at here is we're going to either approve or sustain or deny, overrule. So that's what we're going to be looking at. If we're going to approve the appeal, it means the motel does not have to pay the $34,327. Yes, and so if we're going to deny their appeal, that means that the motel does have to pay the $34,327.15. So that's where we are. So I'll.
Can somebody state the motion?
Yes. What, were you going to make a motion, Councilman?
Yes,
Can you please turn on your mic?
I'll make the motion to deny the approval, the appeal.
The appeal.
Correct?
Yes, and so that means that the motel will have to pay the $34,000
correct.
15 to the city. Okay, is there a second for that motion? We can go ahead and do it here.
Okay, it's open to voting now.
Okay.
So it's a no.
Hold on.
Yeah, I believe a yes vote is to the motion to deny
That's correct, so.
the appeal.
No is a yes vote.
No.
No. So.
Yes would be a yes vote, confirming the motion to deny the appeal.
So we all got that now? All right.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So it's yes.
Okay, I'll close the vote. And the motion carried 6-0.
Okay. All right. So that is it for us tonight. I know it was a long night, a long day. Thank you, council and staff. And we'll close this meeting.
Okay.
So you gotta go. Where's my notes at? Here's, I always mix up the. Good job.